Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum viewers. I hope you all are doing well. I am Sumera, Healthy Wali from the platform of Rehan Artificial Intelligence Teacher Training Institute Level 1 student. Viewers, welcome to another episode of my TED Talks review series. In this series, I am exploring the inspiring TED Talks and sharing the ideas, lessons, and personal reflection that I can take from them. So, today I'm reviewing a very useful and practical talk called Study Smarter, Not Harder by Kiki Fan. Before we begin, let me briefly introduce the today's speaker. Viewers, as we know that Kiki Fan is an educator and speaker who focuses on learning strategies and helping students become more effective learners. Her message encourages us to rethink the way we study and focus not simply on spending more hours on studying, but on making those hours more productive. And this raises an important question. Are we really studying effectively, or are we simply studying for longer hours? So let's explore what I learned from this talk. The first idea that caught my attention is very simple. Studying harder does not always mean study better. Sometimes students spend many hours with their books open, but that doesn't necessarily mean they are learning effectively. We may read the same page again and again. We may highlight everything. We may memorize information without really understanding it. But effective learning requires more than simple spending time. Viewers, we need to ask ourselves, what am I actually learning? Do I understand this concept? Can I explain it in my own words? This is what makes study smarter means. It's about using your time and mental energy wisely. Viewers, the second lesson of this TED talk is very important. There is a big difference between simple reading information and actively working with that information. For example, after reading a chapter, instead of reading it again immediately, we can close the book and ask ourselves, what do I remember? We can explain the concept in our own words. We can answer questions. We can solve problems. We can teach the topics to someone else. If we do these activities, force our brain to retrieve and use information. And when we actively use knowledge, we understand it more deeply. So, studying smarter means becoming an active participant in our learning. The next lesson of this TED talk is the time management and the focus. Viewers, in today's world, distractions are everywhere. Our phones are constantly giving us notifications. Social media can take our attention away from studying. Sometimes we sit down to study for 1 hour but spend half of that time checking messages. I think we have all experienced this. So, viewers, a smarter approach is to set a clear study period. For example, we can focus on one task for a specific amount of time, then take a short break. During study time, we can put necessary notification aside. This helps us to protect our attention. Because sometimes the problem is not that we don't have enough time. The problem is that our attention is divided. So we must be careful about it. Viewers, the next lesson of this TED talk is to set clear goals. Instead of saying, today I am going to study, we can say, today I am going to understand this one chapter and solve 10 practical questions. This goal is much clearer and easier. When our target is specific, it becomes easier to measure our progress. So, small goals also prevent us from feeling overwhelmed. Instead of looking at a huge syllabus and thinking, how will I finish all of this? We can divide it into smaller sections, one topic, one chapter, one skill, and one step at a time. Small progress every day can lead to a big result over time. So, personally, this topic made me think about my one learning journey, my own learning journey. As a level 1 student learning artificial intelligence, I sometimes feel this concept difficult, sometimes easier, and the tools that seem difficult at first. If I try to learn everything at once, I can easily find overwhelmed. So, viewers, when I divide the learning into a smaller steps, everything becomes easier. For example, I can learn one AI tool today, then practice it, then create something with it, then move on to the another skill. I also realize that simply watching a tutorial is not enough. I need to actually practice what I learn. That is when knowledge becomes a real skill. So I think the message of this TED talk is especially relevant in today's world because of artificial intelligence. AI can become a powerful study partner nowadays. For example, if I don't understand a difficult concept, I can ask AI to explain it in a simple language. I can ask for examples. I can ask it to create practical questions. I can ask it to quiz me. I can even ask it to explain a concept at different levels of difficulty. But there is one very important thing we should remember, that we should use AI to help us learn, not to do all the learning for us. If AI gives us answers and we simply copy it, we may finish the task, but we haven't necessarily learning anything. So, smart learning means using AI to understand, practice, question, and improve. So, now I am going to discuss the five main lessons which I took from this today talk. First is the focus on understanding instead of simply memorizing. The second lesson is that use active learning recalls, practice, explain, and apply what you can learn. The third lesson of this TED talk is that viewers protect your attention and reduce unnecessary distraction. The fourth lesson break large goals into a smaller and achievable steps. The fifth lesson of this today talk is that use technology and AI as learning assistants while keeping your own thinking active. These strategies can help students save time while improving the quality of their learning. So, if I would definitely recommend these ideas to the students, teachers, and the lifelong learning. My rating is 10 out of 10 because the message is simple, practical, and something we can simply apply immediately. Thanks to you so much, viewers, for watching this today talk review. See you in the next session soon. Till then, take very good care of yourself. Be healthy, keep learning, and make your every minute count and use the AI wisely, which is very important. So, this is today message. See you in the next session soon, and Allah Hafiz.